What's your view? Yeah, like a Scotch.
Oh yeah, Scott.
Oh, sorry.
Am I looking similar as this one?
No, I thought Scott is standing. I didn't see you. I thought Scott was there. Where did he go? He was with me. I just.
Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. On behalf of Barry Plant Real Estate, we'd love to welcome you to the auction here today of Unit 1, 21 Roberts Street, here in Mulgrave. For those of you that I haven't had the privilege of meeting, my name is Murray Manapa and I'll proudly be your auctioneer. Assisting in proceedings today, and part of the area's most active and progressive auction squad, we've got Jason, we've got Colin, Alina, as well as Scott and Ryan over here that you may have also, and Nick over here, that you may have also had the privilege and opportunity of meeting throughout the course of the campaign. The contracts, as displayed, have been prepared by Sander Herr and Gordon Lawyers, and we sincerely believe that everything that you need to know about the property has certainly been encompassed into the documentation. The particular sale read that the property is legally described, its certificate title as volume 10646, folio 509. It's a lot of numbers, ladies and gentlemen. What it simply means we're selling the land, together with improvements known to us all here today as Unit 1, number 21, Robert Street, here in Mulgrave. The goods, the shadows, the things that will be staying with the property, should you be the lucky purchaser here today, are all fixed floor coverings, curtains, blinds and electric light fittings as inspected. The next thing to talk about is the price. What is it worth? Well, that'll be determined by your bidding here today. The successful purchaser will call upon you to sign a contract to sale and pay a deposit equal 10% on the fall of the contract. And the balance payable in a very flexible 30, 60, even up to 90 days from today's date, unless prior arrangements have been made with an agent. The vendor statement, otherwise known as the Section 32, shows the rates for the City of Monash to be a very reasonable $1,175.60. And Yarra Valley Water of $726.56. Obviously, your water by usage is an additional amount. As you would expect, all services, including electricity, gas, telephone, water and sewerage, are either connected or available to the property. And the zoning is a general residential zone, Schedule 3, ladies and gentlemen, which is one of the highest and best forms of zonings you can achieve in Melbourne at this point. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am obliged to read through the rules of auction as part of the auction proceedings, and they are as follows. The auction will be conducted in accordance with the rules and any additional conditions that were made available for inspection before the start of the auction. The auction rules prohibit an auctioneer from accepting bids or offer the property after the property has been knocked down to that successful bidder. Make that very clear, ladies and gentlemen. Once I declare the property on the market, once the contract hits my hand, the property will be sold. So if you're here to bid with confidence. Make sure I see your hand, yell it out to me. I don't mind, because make it very clear I cannot and will not take any bids once the property has been sold. The vendors have a reserve price, may I add, an extremely realistic one. As an auctioneer, I'll indicate bidders upon request. The law prohibits false bids and prohibits major disruptions by bidders, and prohibits bidders attempting to prevent others from bidding, and does provide fines for this conduct. The rules permit vendor bid. The words I use during the auction to indicate I'm making a bid on behalf of the vendor are vendor bid. By law, only I as the auctioneer can make that vendor bid. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's the documentation. Are there any questions at all? No? Very straightforward? Yep. Let's talk about the property then. Unit 1, number 21 Roberts Street, here in Mulgrave. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you had an opportunity of wandering through this amazing property prior to the auction commencing, so I don't plan to walk you through the home room by room, but there's certainly some things I feel I need to highlight and also mention. I know that you'll notice that the home offers 3 great sized bedrooms, 2 generous living areas, and one absolutely amazing lifestyle that one lucky buyer has the opportunity of securing here today. This immaculate home is bursting with style and elegance, and is proudly positioned in this family quiet neighbourhood. The clever modern design is immediately impressive upon entering, greeted by the generous open plan living and dining zones that are showcased with those gleaming floorboards, and an amazing updated kitchen with ample cupboards and quality stainless steel appliances I'm sure the family's going to enjoy. Indoor-outdoor entertaining is a breeze. Stunning French doors seamlessly connect to welcome a superb outdoor entertaining masterpiece, finished with those sandstone paving and private garden surrounds, ideal for entertaining your family and friends. The generous master is cleverly positioned downstairs and offers its own private bathroom and the walk-in robe. So, certainly catering for those looking at downsizing. Upstairs accommodates the additional 2 bedrooms with the built-in robes that are also generously proportioned in size, one of them providing the walk-in as well as a storage room there as well. Both bedrooms are serviced by the updated bathroom upstairs, centralising to make it a very family-friendly environment overall. At the rear of the home, you've got the double lock-up garage with auto door and internal access into the home, so you and your vehicles are protected from the elements of the weather. But what makes this home special certainly includes the area that falls in. So secret, ladies and gentlemen, one of the biggest driving forces behind the enormous demand for property in this position is certainly schooling. Whether it's primary or secondary, whether it's government or private schooling, there sure is a great list of some of Melbourne's leading schools to choose from. We're walking distance transport. When I say walking distance, literally at the end of the street. The train station isn't that far away. So for most of you, consider this position very convenient when you take into account we're probably about 20-25 minutes away from the city via the easy access on the Monash freeway. In terms of shopping, in terms of restaurants, well, we've got the IKEA and Homemaker Centre literally behind us. That's easy access to Brandon Park Shopping Centre, Waverley Gardens, and the Glen Shopping Centre, ladies and gentlemen, is only moments away. So in terms of shopping, we've obviously got that covered here as well. Well, if you're an investor, what are you looking for? You're certainly looking for a location that we've touched on. You're also looking for an opportunity for great return. We've got Monash University, literally kilometres from where we're standing here today. So in terms of rental, you never have any problems finding any tenants. When you proudly market a home of this quality, quickly understand that a home, a position, and certainly a location like this continually does tick all the boxes. Before I ask for your spirited bidding, ladies and gentlemen, just want to remind everyone that we offer the bidder that puts up their hand first here today a fine bottle of wine as our way of saying good luck with your endeavours in securing your future here today. Well, that's enough from me, ladies and gentlemen. Now I've got a very important question from you. Who'd like to start me off on a fair and reasonable start? You really wanted that wine, didn't you? Sorry, 700? 700? I'll take it, 700. Welcome to the bidding. A little bit lighter than I thought, but I guess I'll take it and good luck for your endeavours today. That's 700,000 on fairly bid. That's 700,000, I'll take a 50 from here. That's 700,000 on fairly bid. 750 straight in. Welcome to the bidding, sir. That's 750, 800, can I say? 800 was that? 760. 760, I mean 50 still. We'll get there anyway. That's 750,000. That's 750,000. 800, good decision, 800 we have. At 800,000 on fairly bid. At 800,000, I'll take a 50 if you like. At 800,000 I'm against you as well. At 800,000 I'm fairly bid. At 800,000 we have for the first call.
20.
20? I'll tell you what, I'll take you 20 and I'll give you the same opportunity over here. At 820,000 I'm fairly bid. At 820,000, quick bids are good, we make it 40. At 820,000. At 820,000 I'll call it down. 30?
Take it.
I'll take you 30, you asked so nicely. At 30 we have. At 30 I'll call it down. At 830, 50, good decision, straight on, back on top at 850,000. At 850,000, 10s aren't working. 60 over here. 60 is against you and you as well. At 860,000 fresh bidding. At 860, 70 straight back. At 870,000. At 870,000, 80 straight back. At 80 we have. At $880,000, just make it 900. Get there anyway. At $880,000. First call at 880,000. Second call
90.
890 at 890,000. At 890,000 you've got to be quiet over here. At 890,000, give me same advice. 900 is the next bid. 900, good decision. At 900 we have. At 900,000 I'm fairly bid. At 900,000 I'll call it down. At 900,000 we have for the first call at 900,000. Second call at 900,000. Third call
910.
910 straight back, good decision. At 910,000. At 910,000 I'm fairly bid. At 910,000 make it 20. At 910,000, best position right now. First call at 910,000. Second call at 910,000. Third call at 910. All done, all finished, all silent at the 910. Over here, you with us at the start. 910, it's against you.
On the market.
On the market, you heard it yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. You asked if it's on the market. We're looking at the new owners. There's no further bidding at $910,000. At 1020 we have. At 920,000.
5,000.
Oh, 5,000. I like 10 better.
No, 5,000.
I'll take you 5. It's all money from here. At 915,000. At 915,000 it's against you. At 915 make it 20.
20.
20 straight back. At 20 we have. At 920,000. At 920,000. Don't do that. Do this. At $920,000. Look at what you could be buying. Move in and enjoy. all the hard work's been done. At $920,000, I'll call it down. First call at $920,000. Second call at $920,000. Third call at $920,000. Are we all done? All finished? All silent? Be yourselves. It's a start. Definitely not. Well, thank you for your bidding. Over here as well, at $920,000, it goes to you. Giving you a bit of thinking time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're selling. If you're interested, now's the time to act. First call at $920,000. Second call at $920,000. Third call at $920,000. All done, all finished, all silent at the $920,000. Definitely out.
Definitely out.
Well, the property's going. Sure. Sold. Congratulations and welcome to the neighbourhood.
Good well.